well, this is video number 1. We're yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about what our channel is all about. Just a little intro video. I'm live in Minnesota. I grew up fishing. Took a few years hiatus from fishing. I didn't fish for a really long time. Now that I'm older, I figured I'd get back into it. Been doing a lot of bank fishing and stuff like that, and I did buy a boat. That didn't work out. A little bit more on that later, but I've decided to delve into the world of kayak fishing. This guy right here. The channel is going to be about fishing, maybe fishing with my son, but I really decided to start the channel to document and share with you my journey with kayak. I've never been in a kayak, never been kayak fishing. I did a little bit of canoeing when I was younger, not a lot, mostly just messing around as a child and as a kid. But yeah, so this channel is basically about my kayak journey. It's not going to be completely about kayaking. We might go do some bank fishing down at the river, and we'll play it by ear. But I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown of that and give a little bit of background on me. I'm a welder. I live in central Minnesota. Well, a little bit more than a welder. I'm a welder fabricator. I'm a supervisor in the shop that I'm in. So I kind of know my way around some tools. We're going to do some modifications to this here kayak over the course of, I don't know if you can see outside right now. It's February. It's Minnesota. There's not a lick of snow out there. The ice conditions aren't great. I'm not an ice fisherman, but that only means that I am probably going to get on the water a little bit earlier than a normal year. It's been weird. It's 50 degrees outside right now. 50 degrees in February, Minnesota. It's February 7th or 8th or 9th or something like that. But I don't know what's going on with the weather. They say it's the El Nino year. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but anyway. So we'll just give you a little rundown on the kayak. I wish I had a little bit more capital, a little bit more money to spend on a kayak. This fit my budget as best as it could. I bought it online. I got it on a sale and discount, or a year-end discount. And I don't even know if that's what it was. It was a discount that basically made the shipping free. Took $50 off for shipping. I paid, I think it was $450 shipped. So out the door, $450. It is a C-Stream open water V2. I wish I had the budget to go a little bit bigger. I'm really interested in the Old Town Sportsman, the PDL with the pedal drive. After doing a bunch of research, but it was a little out of my budget. It's not terribly expensive as kayaks go, but I'm a dad. I work full time. I've got a house to pay for. We don't have a whole lot of extra money going around, so I decided to go with this guy and check it out. But I'll take it down and kind of go over some things. It's the 12 and a half, weighs about 65 pounds, I believe. Has a 400-pound capacity. It looks a little narrow. It might be a little unstable out on the water, but we'll find out. Really, up until when I can get out on the water, I plan to make some minor modifications to it. I don't want to go too crazy because I'm not sure what I'm going to want it and what I'm going to need and how it's laid out. But there are a few things that I know that I want to do right away. And so that's what we're going to do until I can get her out on the water. So hold on a couple of seconds and we'll go down. We'll check out the kayak and show you all the things that I'd like to do to it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is we're looking at the kayak. So we're going to go from tail to head. Okay. I believe that it was there's an upgraded version that has a rudder on it. It does have spots for rudder cables. It's got another thing here. I'm not sure what all of this is. Let's take a look. So basically, it's got these spots for rudder cables. This one here, I'm guessing, is to deploy a rudder. Underneath, it's got a clip that I believe has something to do with the rudder. I haven't been able to find anything on that, but drain plug here. Came with this net. I don't think I'm going to keep it. I have other ideas. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can grab this real quick. It does not. It's kind of sad. I wish it did. Does not fit kayak crate. Not very well anyway. But I've got some ideas for that, and we'll figure that out. I may just turn it that way and strap it down for a while and not go too crazy with it right away. We're gonna do minimal stuff until I get it out on the water and see how it feels. So the first time out, I will do it without the crate and with the crate, see how, because it's so high up, how it reacts to that. I may make a different style crate. Don't know. Haven't really got into what I'd like to do with it yet, but we'll get there. So set that down. It's got this little tiny tank well. I'm guessing that it fit a small cooler pretty well. Rod holders. So it comes with the little bungees to reel or rod leashes. I've got a different idea of what I'd like to do with that as well. I don't know if I want my rod sticking up straight up in the air. Seat, this is one of the modifications that I'm gonna make right away, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna have to deal with the added instability when I raise that seat up, because there's no way that my big frame is gonna be comfortable sitting flat on the ground, getting wet with scupper holes. Scupper hole! There's scupper holes right underneath the seat. I don't want my ass getting wet. I don't want to get my rear end wet. So it looks like it's got a mounting plate here. I'm guessing it's reinforced somehow to mount maybe a fish finder. Bottle holder. I don't think that's going to stay there either. That might become something else. Not sure yet. These foot pedals, I may have to get rid of these. They make a lot of noise when they move. And looking at it, I don't see a good spot to attach a rudder cable, so I'm guessing it's a different pedal style. Do I think I'm going to use a rudder? Probably not. But I did have thoughts of putting a little trolling motor on the back here and figuring out a way to mount it, hang off the back just behind here, and then I have ideas about that. I'm not sure about that yet. I really only have about, at my current weight, about 100 pounds. I got about 35 pounds to work with on this thing. I weigh just under 300, and this kayak is rated for 400, so I don't have a whole lot of extra for gear. But we might be able to do something about that. Up front, there's a couple more scupper holes here. I didn't mention there is 2 scupper holes in the back. These scupper holes are probably okay. But those ones are definitely going to have to get plugged. I don't want them underneath my butt. Handles up here. It's just a piece of cord with a handle on it. Front hatch. It's oval. It fits the shape of the kayak really well. I don't know what all I can get in there. I might play around with the idea of making this a little bit bigger if I can find a hatch that'll work for it. Also, when I do this seat mod, I am gonna have to figure out a way to get to the inside to put some reinforcing backers on my seat. So just let's go back to the tripod, and we'll get you a little bit closer, and I'll just kind of run down so I have both my hands to kind of go over some of the mods that I want to make. All right, we're back, and we're getting a little bit closer to the kayak. I just want to go over a couple of things that I want to do to the kayak. Now, if we bring this down, you can see that obviously this seat looks atrocious. I don't think I'm going to be able to sit in this thing all day. Another thing that I forgot to mention while we were going over the rest of it is this guy here, this little access cover and a little mesh bag. Might be good for, holding a little bag of snacks, maybe some gummy worms or, something like that. But, and another thing I just came across while I was out in the garage is, let's move this over here. This tank well, let's turn on this light. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Yeah, look at that. You can actually see what's going on over here. This tank well right here, I said might fit a little cooler. I've had this cooler for about 10 years. It's been a good little cooler. It's not the best cooler in the world, but you get yourself a couple of these ice packs. You can keep your sodas, your waters, your kazoo. Another thing that works for ice packs, what I've done in the past and what I like to do is I'll put frozen bottles of water in here to act as ice packs. And the cool thing about using frozen water bottles as ice packs is that as they thaw out, you got ice cold water to drink. That's how I do things. But yeah, that cooler, I'm probably going to start out by using that cooler. Like I said, it's not a great cooler, but it works for a few hours out on the ice or out on the water. And if you got it, use it, right? So we'll set that aside. So another thing I didn't really talk about at the beginning is life jackets, PFDs. I bought. Now, if you're just starting out in kayaking, like I am, make sure that your PFD is U.S. Coast Guard approved. I don't know about other states. I've never fished in any other state but Minnesota. But here in Minnesota, it has to be a U.S. Coast Guard approved to count as your PFD. If you don't, I don't know really what they'll do to you, but just do it. U.S. Coast Guard approved are they're approved for a reason, right? So what I did first of all was I went out to Walmart, and I was just getting started on this, and I didn't really even know what I was doing, and I bought this guy. It's one of these self-inflating jobbies, and I bought this because I thought I wanted it to be low profile, and it's low profile, but put this thing on and it doesn't, it cuts into my neck. It's dumb and not US Coast Guard approved, so I kind of screwed up there. It was a good price. I'm not too butthurt about it. I'm gonna try to return it, but it's self-inflating. You can pull the thing, or if it gets into water, it'll inflate itself. Okay, so what I ended up doing after a little bit of research, talking to some guys in a Facebook group. By the way, Kayak Fishing Dads, thanks for your help with picking this out. I didn't know what was going to fit me. Like I said, I'm 300 pounds. I'm 6'4", and every PFD I've ever tried on, it doesn't fit right. Do I wear it because I have to when I'm out in the boat? Sure. But I wanted to be comfortable so that I can spend some time out on the water. So what I got was the NRS Chinook. I've worn it, I've put it on, I've tried it out, fits great. You're gonna have to find the life jacket that works best for you, but if you're a big guy like me, I recommend this. I got the XL, double XL size for my size, but yeah, it fits great. It's comfortable. I haven't worn it for a long period of time, but I imagine it's just going to be great. High back, all that. So just wanted to touch base on PFDs. Don't buy one unless you know that it's US Coast Guard approved. Otherwise, you might not even want to use it if it's not. But that's up to you. I know a lot of guys say it's a must-have, PFDs. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I'm going to wear mine, because life jackets aren't for when you can swim. I don't care how strong of a swimmer you are. Life jackets and PFDs help you when you can't swim. And we'll go over that at a later time. We'll do a couple of safety videos, things that I think we should be doing to stay safe. So we went over the cooler. So that's not really a modification. Let's start here in the tank well. Okay. Now the tank well, it's got this weird, well, it's not weird. I mean, it's got a net. You could store quite a bit of stuff in here, but it doesn't go very high. I'll keep the net, not on the boat, but I'll hold on to it. But this just comes on with, from these little retainers. Sure, come on. There we go. We'll set that aside. What I do have is a couple of these style of crates, these Walmart crates. I've got two of these, this particular size. You just take all my stuff out of the bag. Or out of the crate, and we'll go from there. So I'd like to figure out a way to put this right there. I don't know if you can kind of see what's going on here. But as you can see, it doesn't fit this way, and it doesn't fit this way. I'll fix that later. I got a screw that just fell out. Isn't that weird? Okay. So what I thought I might do, because on this crate I'd also like to use the bottom of another crate. I'd like to use the bottom of another crate to make a lid. But that leaves me, 4/5. I don't know. Most of the top of the crate is either trash, or maybe, I thought, use that top of the crate to fit it down in this tank well. Fit it down in this tank well, cut the corners off of the top of the crate, and fix it down so it brings the level up here, so this will just sit right in top, because, these are stackable. I might not use this crate. I might go find some different crates too, but that's just kind of the idea. It does take up quite a bit of room here. Another option that I have for my crate is I've got, a second. I've got a number of these red plastic totes. They fit in the backside, but if I trim the corners off of one and affix it to the bottom of the kayak, then I can stack one or two more on top of this and bungee it all together. So that's one option. I don't know that I'm going to make any decision about that until I try it out with just this strap down on top. The idea of a crate is so you can grab most of your stuff, go put it in the car, and move on with your life. And get the kayak up. I wouldn't recommend leaving all of your stuff on your kayak when it's on your roof, but you do you, right? So there's the tank well kayak crate idea. We went over the cooler. One thing that I've played around with and I really haven't decided yet is I thought I might want to put some sort of motor mount on the back here to fix a Minn Kota Endura trolling motor. But that's for the future. I probably won't even do it this first season. I don't know if it'll handle a battery that well. Oh, so one of the things that I thought, because of that thing, is that these fit in here really nice. You can stack them. These Plano boxes in here. The black crate, they kind of fit somewhat okay. There might be a better one for that. I've got all these little travel tackle boxes, all these little guys. These are actually, believe it or not, we got them off of Temu, and I think they were like $4, right? So they got all these little compartments that flip open, put jigs and whatnot inside here. So yeah, those are kind of cool. So I got two of those guys. These guys came as a set, and these are just for like crankbaits and longer baits. Let's see, how do you open? Yeah. So I don't know if you can see that they just have these slots here, and drain holes, so you can pop your crankbaits and your stick baits and stuff in here. Mostly stick baits. I guess a crankbait, like a little full-size crankbait wouldn't work so well. But same thing with this. It's the same design basically, although it's got a different latch, different hinge. But they're both double-sided, so you have tons of storage in those. But this video isn't about that, and I'm getting sidetracked. At one point, we'll go through all of the nonsense that I bought for it. So let's talk about this seat. I don't like the seat a whole lot. I'll tilt you down just a little bit so you can get a better look at this. I don't like this seat. This is how it came. I mean, it was all folded down flat, but this is how it came. This is the seat that came with it. The way that it's designed, my feet will be up higher than my butt, and I don't know that I'd like that. So, and the only way that this thing is held in is with all these straps. This comes off. You actually have to, and it came through the pad eyes instead of having some sort of buckle or clip that clips onto this. They went right through the pad eyes, which I'm not a fan of either. So let's take this guy out. I think it's a safe bet. I'm not going to use this seat ever. But never say never. So what I did find, actually a friend of mine from work gave me the stadium seating. It's just one of those seats that plop down onto like a bleacher style seat. Straps on with this clip here, and you can tighten it down. I don't know if I like the flap. It might be a good little spot to drop tools and whatnot, but once again, first of all, the problem is it's so low. It's probably better because it's more rigid than the seat that it came with. It's got the metal and stuff. I will probably upgrade to a better seat eventually. But this is the first upgrade. One thing I didn't talk about is, well, I did, my budget. My budget, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, so I like to tinker, I like to mess around with stuff, I like to fix things on my own, and that's what we're gonna do, until maybe I get a little bit more capital, and I'll buy things as I go. But so my thought was, figure out a way to attach. Let's go back down. Figure out a way to attach one of these crates, but upside down. All right. Doesn't raise me up super high. Gives me a place here. All right. And if I cut a slot across the back and take the front out mostly, all right, then I can feed this guy through. And clip it on and tighten it down, and hopefully it stays. So that's probably going to be my first video build. We'll try the crate. We'll try the crate first. Do all I need to do the crate. My plan is, let's go back down. What the heck? Let's go back down right about there. Okay, so the reason that I like this, once again, is because these fit in here damn near perfect. So how can I make that work for me? If I cut out the entire front from here to here, this corner to this corner all the way down. I'll leave this bottom ridge. See, it's got those two ridges right there. If I leave the bottom one, take the top one out, it'll leave me a little lip for this to catch. But I believe that I'll be able to get this to slide right in there after I cut this. So that'll probably be my first build. That's kind of where I want to go. Now, if this sags too much without this cutout being here, or without this part of it being here, I might have to find another route, or might have to reinforce this top one. I also plan on leaving this space here from this ridge up. That will give you a little bit of stiffness. Because it's, yeah, we're not here for physics, Nate. But it should give it a little enough rigidness to keep me up. This is pretty good stuff. It's HDPE. It's the same stuff your kayak is made out of. Same thing that the Homer buckets from Home Depot are made out of. So yeah, that's probably gonna be my first. That'll probably be the first build. Is the seat. So let's move down. Oh, while we're here, I plan on putting, because if you look over the kayak, there is zero. There's nothing. There is nothing for gear track. Zero. Zip. Nada. So what we did was I went over to Home Depot and bought some of these guys. It's woodworking T-track. Not carpenters, but cabinet makers and woodworkers, they use these to affix stops for their saws and other various things. But if you look at it, it's got holes in it already pre-drilled. You can cut them to length. When cutting these and making them fit your kayak, what I recommend doing is cutting directly in between two of the holes, because that'll give you enough stick out on each side of the hole so that they're even. If you decide to cut it right outside the holes, then you're going to have two pieces. You're going to have a piece out here that doesn't work. You know, if you cut it just outside the hole, then you're going to have this big flop. Yeah, just cut it in between if you can. So I plan on putting a gear track up here. I'm thinking I'll have to get my seat fixed up and set up and figure all that out. But I'm thinking one here, one on the other side. I thought maybe, let's roll this guy over here. Yeah, I didn't even talk about the cart that I'm wheeling this around. But I think I'd like to put a piece up here. Now that one's going to be a funny cut because of the two holes. Because the two holes don't line up quite right. Come down. Well, the holes line up great, but then it has a bunch of hangover. So that's going to be a custom cut, which is fine. But I'd like to put one here for something. Maybe a phone holder, you know, something like that. What I'm not real happy about, what I don't like, is this cup holder. It fits my cup fine, but you're in a boat. It's rocking around. So we'll figure out a way to attach a cup holder directly to the rails. But yeah. So I need a drink of coffee there. And I don't know if you've ever bought these things or you've seen these things. If you are an experienced kayaker, you've seen these. You've probably used these, unless you're using like the Yak Attack brands or the what is the other one? The Amazon-based one. Anyway, doesn't matter. If you're using the Yak Attack ones, you probably don't have these. A lot of the newer kayaks have and a lot of fishing kayaks have plenty of gear tracks and places to put gear tracks and, you know, stuff like that. And they usually make their own gear tracks. So I thought, you know, short one up here, short one over there, maybe a couple along the back here if I need to put some moving pad eyes or something. We're going to put some rod holders on here. I'll probably make do with the factory rod holders to start out with, but those might become something else. Flag holder, net holder, you know, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much an intro to me, an intro to my kayak. There's only one more thing that I really absolutely want to do to this, and that is put a keel guard on. Most of you know what a keel guard is already, but if you don't, we'll just go down here. We'll set this to that. Let's remove our camera from a tripod, and let's get up underneath here. So keel guard is just a thickened piece of plastic that you can glue on, or double-side tape. I've seen plenty of guys double-side tape, but it reinforces your keel so that you don't bash through it, scratch it up real bad. You spend a lot of money on your kayak, spend a couple extra dollars more to protect it. But other than that, that is my kayak. Just real quick. The reason I'm not doing this in my garage, the reason I'm doing it in the basement, is because it's Minnesota and it's wintertime. That light is really bright up there behind me, huh? So I brought it down into the basement to work on it over the winter. And all I did was I had a four-wheeled furniture dolly. And I just built a wooden frame to put up inside the grooves of this. And then I also bought a refurbished from Amazon Garmin Striker 4. It's refurbished, but it's got everything you need to get started except the battery. So that's another thing that I got to work on, is where am I going to put a battery in this guy? But that's for future videos. For now, we're just going to move on. And we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it won't be too long before you see me again. I plan on starting and filming the seat today, which means as soon as I get all the footage and it's all buttoned up, then I'll post the video. But this is video number 1 on a great journey. If it works out for me, great. If not, I got a video documentation of what I'm doing. So thanks a lot, and like and subscribe if you would. It'd really help us out. Till next time.